outsized role in my life. I remember years ago leading groups on night hikes in Virginia, taking kids from a summer camp up the mountain called Sharp Top, being there for sunrise. I remember climbing Mount Washington with my son in a backpack. I remember being at the top of Cadillac Mountain in Maine and looking at the sunrise. You've probably had some of these experiences too. Those times when you've been away from it all, when you've been up on a high place and have experienced a little bit more connection than you might normally have. That's the story of the gospel today. When Jesus and his disciples were going up to the top of the mountain, when they were praying. There was that moment of transition, no doubt, when the sun came out and shone a little extra brightly, when suddenly Jesus wasn't there by himself and his disciples saw him with Moses and Elijah. And they saw Jesus himself glowing. I can't imagine what that must have been like. First off, I can't imagine how they would have known who Moses and Elijah were without name tags. But then to see Jesus, their friend who they knew very well, transfigured before their eyes, shining with the light of God. Peter, of course, as Peter always does, comes up with a plan. Jesus, you want us to build some tents here so that we can always remember what's happened? But then the cloud rolled in, covered everything in deep fog. And the voice of God echoed, saying, "This is my Son, my beloved. Listen to it." And then the cloud lifted. Jesus was there as he had always been. Moses and Elijah gone. And the disciples trying to figure out what the heck to make of this experience. They'd had an experience of the holy. They had seen in Jesus more than they'd ever seen before, with the divine light radiating from him. And they had to make sense of it. They went back down the mountain. They got back to work. They journeyed with Jesus to Jerusalem. They denied knowing him. They watched him nailed on a cross. They heard rumors about his not being in the tomb that morning. They huddled in that upper room, still unsure what to make of it. And then Pentecost happened, when the Spirit of God descended upon them all and gave them power. The Spirit of God, like tongues of fire. And the disciples glowed with that fire. There's something that happens to us when we encounter God that changes us, that gives us a glow, that casts new light on our lives and on our world. The story in Exodus of Moses going up to the mountaintop to receive the tablets of the law and coming down with his face glowing so much that it bothered the people, that they told him, "Could you wear a veil?" please, so we don't have to look at this? And every time he would go into God's presence, he would come back again. His batteries recharged. His face glowing. You found places, times, events in your lives that have set you aglow. Perhaps it was when your child was born. Perhaps it was understanding something for the first time. Perhaps it was reaching out in love to help someone. And your heart resonated. We've all had those moments. Those moments where we light up. Those moments where we are transformed by love. This week, it's important to pause and to see some of that glow around us. To find some of that transformation in our midst. I remember years ago, growing up in a Southern Baptist church in Virginia. A place that I had learned the fundamentals of faith. And I use the word fundamentals intentionally. The faith that I grew up with was a faith that took the book literally. That if it said it there was no wiggle room. There were things that I had learned that just weren't so. One of them is what our Methodist siblings have been wrestling with this last week. I grew up in a tradition that taught that gay and lesbian people, transgender people, were outside of God's love. That they were not welcome in the community of faith, that ultimately hell was what awaited. I believed it. I didn't have any reason not to. But as time passed, I started looking around, I started experiencing the world differently. I started realizing that you can't take things literally. You certainly can't take them without context. Those 7 passages in the scriptures, that if you read them without context, are the ones that are used to clobber our LGBT siblings. And then a dear friend of mine announced that he was HIV positive. And I realized I had to stop and reconsider all these things that I had learned. Because this dear friend was also someone who was strong in his faith. Was someone who was a leader in his faith community. I stopped and I asked a lot more questions, going to wise people who helped me learn, who helped me grow. One of them was a Methodist. And he explained to me that within Methodism there are 4 pillars. The Wesleyan quadrilateral. Scripture, tradition, reason, and experience. These are the 4 legs of the theological stool that Wesley taught. Scripture I still couldn't deal with at that point. Tradition, well, I've heard it all before. But reason and experience led me to some new understandings. Led me to transform my perspective and my position. This week, our Methodist siblings have forgotten about reason. They've forgotten about experience. The General Convention of the Methodist Church this week, just in case any of you have missed the news, has declared that being gay, being lesbian, being bisexual, being transgender is incompatible with the gospel. I ended up having to leave my denomination over the Southern Baptists' teachings. Many of our Methodist friends this week are wrestling with the question of where will they go, so that they can be true to their faith, so that they can be true to their understanding of God's grace and love for all people. In the United Church of Christ, here at King Street, we are open and affirming. We open the doors and we tell people, no matter who you are or where you are in life's journey, you are welcome here. We declare that God's grace is available for everyone, regardless of race or gender or sexual orientation. We preach a gospel of love and inclusion. It's a gospel that the world needs. And we preach it with our little rainbow flag out front by the sign. Maybe it's time for a bigger flag. Because our Methodist siblings are likely going to be coming looking for a home. When they do, we've got some work to show the love of God, to welcome refugees. But when we do, we're going to find some people who are in pain. I remember when I was wrestling with the what's next question as I was leaving the Southern Baptists and didn't have a home yet in the United Church of Christ. I was in a place of pain. And the last thing I needed was for someone to say, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. Welcome. I needed to process that pain. I needed to work through it at my own rate. Grief is like that. When we find people in the coming weeks coming through these doors, people who are grieving, give them a little bit of space to grieve. A warm, loving King Street welcome, but a welcome that honors their pain, that doesn't try and just offer the quick fix. I've told you before that if this church were not an open and affirming congregation, I would have never considered being a pastor. I can't do that anymore. Our being an open and affirming congregation is important. We lead with it. Not because we need to congratulate ourselves, but because people need to hear that there are churches where God's love is for everyone. Because sadly, we find today that there are too many churches that don't believe that. So this week, as you go into the world, as you talk with your friends and your family, as you rub shoulders with United Methodists who are trying to figure out just what the heck the future's going to hold, be present. Be loving. Let your face shine. Because of your encounter with God in this place, help them to breathe and themselves in time be transformed.